Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining here today. It is an honor to be here with you in our team presentation. First, I'd like to quickly introduce our team in this presentation. We are from Low B class. There are Raditya Pandya Kusuma, Raditya Putra Manda, Nida Nikmatu Syahanda, Riki Dwi Kurniawan, Sabina Devi, and Chandra Tri Agraini. I hope our presentation isn't going to take too long and that you will find it interesting. Our goal today is to help you all understand about resident permit arrangement during COVID-19 in Indonesia. We will be covering these 4 key points. First, we would like to have a look at topic of entry permit and re-entry permits. Then, we would like to have a look at the topic of emergency entry stay permit. And thirdly, we would like to discuss about the extension of ITAS and ITAP. And lastly, we will share with you about stay permit foreigners in the new normal era in Indonesia. Then, let's move on to our first topic.
First of all, before we get into the main discussion, let's talk about immigration regulations against COVID-19. The Indonesian government has taken a string of measures in an attempt to minimize the spread of COVID-19 in Indonesia. One of those measures has been to enact regulations governing the traffic of individuals entering and leaving the country. These regulations specifically mandate limitation and exceptions for the granting of entry permits and re-entry permits for foreign nationals wanting to visit our return to Indonesia, and emergency stay permits for all foreign nationals currently in Indonesia. The most recent regulation and currently in force is Minister of Law and Human Rights Regulation number 11 of 2020 on the temporary prohibition of foreigners entering Indonesia.
1. Entry permits and re-entry permits. As you can see at this slide, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Indonesian government has temporarily suspended all foreign nationals from entering or transiting in Indonesia, as provided in Director General of Immigration Circular Letter Number IMI GR.01.012325 year 2020. This suspension applies to 1. Individuals entering on visa-free visits and visa-on-arrival visits or VKSK. 2. Multiple business visit visa, visa kunjungan usaha beberapa kali perjalanan, visitor visa 211A, visitor visa 211B, APEC business travel card, transit visa and working holiday visa holders. 3. Diplomatic passport holders who do not have a diplomatic visa or resident permit in Indonesia and are visiting on a diplomatic visa exemption for short visit, bebas visa kunjungan singkat. And 4. Service passport holders who do not have a service visa or service stay permit in Indonesia and are visiting on a service BVKS. This suspension, however, does not apply to anyone holding either a valid or expired limited stay permit, izin tinggal terbatas or ITAS, or permanent stay permit, izin tinggal tetap or ITAP, a valid diplomatic or service visa issued by an Indonesia representative, or a valid diplomatic stay permit or service stay permit issued by an Indonesia representative. Also, exempted from the suspension are medical, food, humanitarian, aid support works, crew members for means of transport, and foreign national entering Indonesia with a valid limited stay visa, visa tinggal terbatas or VITAS, issued by an Indonesia representative for the purpose of working on national strategic projects, E.G. infrastructure or construction.
Emergency entry stay permit. Now, if you will turn your attention to this slide, to further elaborate on this matter, the Director General of Immigration issued circular letter number IMI GR 01012493/2020. It gives foreigners whose ITAs or entry permit for ITA holders expired when they were abroad the chance to enter Indonesia on an entry emergency stay permit. The granting of an entry emergency stay permit requires the foreigners to present a halt certificate or a fit-to-fly certificate, which are subject to protocols issued by the Ministry of Health. They must also be willing to self-quarantine under the monitoring of Indonesian health authorities. Bear in mind that the entry emergency stay permit does not serve as an automatic extension of the foreigner's ITAS or ITAP.
Extension of ITAS and ITAP. Now let's have a look at the next slide. Once the pandemic is declared over, holders of expired ITAS or ITAP who reside in Indonesia may be granted an extension for their permits. Sponsor of the foreigners will need to resubmit application for notification from the Ministry of Manpower for expatriate workers or recommendation from the BKPM for foreigner investor. Sponsor must also administer the re-entry permit ITAP holder at the immigration office. This exception and visa requirement are subject to future change based on the situation with the COVID-19 pandemic.
So, how are the regulations renewed for the new normal residence permit? The fifth, stay permits foreigners in the new normal era in Indonesia. If you look at this slide, on July 13, 2020, the Directorate General of Immigration issued a circular letter to adjust arrangements of emergency stay permits foreigners in the new normal era in Indonesia. An updated version of circular letter of the Director General of Immigration number IMI-GR.01.01/1102 of 2020 concerning immigration stay permit services has now been released. This letter once again is not stamped and has not yet appeared on any official channels, either on the immigration website or on official social media accounts. All details here are in draft form and are subject to change until released through imigrasi.go.id or other government sources. Previously, the emergency stay permit had been revoked and ITAS, ITAP, and ITK holders were able to renew their stay permits within 30 days from July 13th. This updated circular letter contains more details for ITKT, visa fee or BVK, crew visit, and telex visa holders.
6. Emergency stay visa holder status. Now let's look at this slide about emergency stay visa holder status. Visit stay permit holders who were granted the emergency stay permit can extend their resident permit based on their previous ITK while the COVID-19 pandemic period is still in force and there is no means of transportation to leave Indonesia. These ITK holders include those who hold from multiple visit visa and foreigners who hold APEC Business Travel Card with a validity period of each extension being 30 days. However, those who already have a TELEC visa issued after 1st December 2019 can apply for an ITK or ITAS after paying PNBP visa fees to the local immigration office without leaving Indonesia and without applying for a visa to an Indonesian embassy or consulate abroad. Moreover, foreigners who will return to their country of origin or leave Indonesia for any reason may leave Indonesia within 30 days from 30 July 2020. 7. Holders of free visit visa and career visit. Now let's look at this slide. It explains that foreigners holding a free visit visa who were granted an emergency stay permit must leave Indonesia within 30 days from 30 July 2020. BVK holders and career visit holders can apply for a visit visa or telex limited stay permit through an online visa application. Foreign passport holders of Telex Visit Visa are given a stamp to grant the extendable visit stay permit, and Telex Limited Stay Visa holders are stamped with the grant or extension of a limited stay permit as well as a re-entry permit. Lastly, Visa Telex holders that were issued from 1st December 2019 up to 30 July 2020 will receive their stay permit starting from the date of ITK or ITAS application submission at a local immigration office, whereas a Visa Telex that issued that after the 30 will be ready according to the publishing date of the Telex Visa.
And that is all we have got to say regarding today's presentation that is about resident permit arrangements during COVID-19 in Indonesia. We would like to ask forgiveness for any mistaken words and would also like to thank you for tuning into our presentation. Hoping to see you all again in another occasion.